Ah, there we go. I think you should be able to hear me now. Thank you guys. Thank you, Lemon, Lamondre, and Reed, and Derek. Also, welcome. Oh, perfect timing. More cherry pie in there today. That's what we are getting going here, and then we'll do our dabs, all that fun stuff. And again, thank you for the audio clues, everybody. What are you guys enjoying today? Anything? Any cool strains? Any cool ways of getting high? Anybody doing any edibles, dabs, tabs, suppositories? You name it. I'm curious about it. Mouthpiece is here. There we go. That is nice. Well, yeah, just wanted to come in, hang out with some folks, do a little bit of weed while we're chilling out here. Got some new reviews coming out later this week, or another review coming out tomorrow. Should have a new live stream with that as well. Ooh, and looks like Reed is enjoying a Brass Knuckles. I have not. I'm really curious about how Brass Knuckles as a company is doing. I have not seen them with the same level of sort of like market penetration that they had not just too long ago. So I'm curious where they are and how they're doing out there. Oh, and I'm also curious where you got your cart from, Reed. Did you buy it? Did you order it from a dispensary, or do you live in a legal state? I'm also just curious how much the Brass Knuckles name still travels around the U.S., even though it technically can't. Okay, let's see. Oh, Derek says, Recon, you guys have that strain of flower yet? I don't think so. I don't think we have it out here yet. Is that what you're enjoying, Derek? Is Recon? It's an interesting name. Lamondre says, gelato cookies, but the smell got me caught up. Ooh. Well, gelato cookies is a nice strain. What do you mean by the smell got you caught up, Lamondre? I'm not curious. I'm not sure what that means. Is that like the smell was enough for me? Cartman360 says, welcome, by the way, Cartman. For an entourage effect, take within 1 hour a 100 milligram edible, joint with keef, and hit a dab or dab pen. Dr. Cartman coming in with the homemade recipe, the homemade cure for sober people everywhere. Appreciate that, Cartman. Got you, Reed. Yeah, Derek, I don't know the strain Recon. What kind of weed is it? Is it an indica, sativa, some kind of hybrid? Man, I really do need to finish that video about the science. That's pretentious. The marketing push behind the labels of indica and sativa. Hello, Cameron Boland. Glad you could join us. And it is a hybrid, the Recon that Derek is enjoying. Okay, I will have to keep an eye out for it. Oh, Lamondre says it's I guess what he meant is that the weed is so stanky that people, even without lighting up, knew outside what he was doing. Lamondre, I'm curious, do you also live in an illegal state? Nobody in Southern California cares about the smell of weed anymore, really. At least that's the way it appears to me. I don't know. Maybe there are some neighborhoods where that's not true, but Cameron says he's from the, or he or she or they is from the UK and smoke and whatnot. Do you prefer smoking bongs, woods, or eating edibles? Ooh, Cameron, good question. Edibles are my favorite ingestion method of THC, bar none. But I'm not super picky after that. I would say the volcano, what I'm doing right now, is probably my favorite inhalation method, followed by traditional dabs. But it's all really, I'm not super attached to one over any other. Ooh, and Lamondre is a Texan. Okay, well that makes sense why you'd be more worried about your neighbors being upset. I'm sorry, man. I hope Texas one day gets their act together. I imagine as more and more of us Californians flee our state and run screaming into yours, that will continue to increase Texans' overall tolerance for weed, and can eventually even maybe tip the scales to legality there. Cameron. Great question, Cameron. I really wish I could help you more. Unfortunately, I'm in the States, and even within the United States, from state to state, brands are very different because different states have different legalities, and so there aren't a whole lot of cross-state brands, and that goes quadruply, pendubly true for international brands. I'm not sure if I'm sure that there are people financing on both sides of the border, but I don't know if there's an actual brand that exists in both Canada and the United States right now. There might be, but my guess is it would be very much the exception. And so I don't know a lot of the brands that are available up north, but it is legal countrywide up there, so you'll have no problems coming across it. But I'm afraid I just don't know their market all that well, unfortunately. Lamondre says, oh, your grandma is in Texas. Oh, okay. Raphael Green says, does smoking kill you in the end? Well, something has to kill you in the end, Raphael. Does smoking kill you? Does smoking weed or smoking, generally speaking, including tobacco? And it depends what you mean kills you. And also end. I don't think weed is a very worrisome substance in any real way. But if your sense of death is tied up in one's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where weed would be the end of life. Except, really, it doesn't. Smoking, consuming any inhalant, especially one that you are combusting with fire, aka joints, bongs, whatever. That is all damaging to the lungs. It doesn't matter that there's no nicotine involved. It's still incredible. Just that act alone is inhaling those molecules at those temperatures produces carcinogenic compounds regardless. Now, it's far less bad for you than tobacco, but yes, there is if you are smoking a lot of weed, especially something that you are lighting, you are there is some health risk involved but no more so than, substantially less so than tobacco. But not to give anybody the impression that smoking weed is a healthy thing. That's not what I wanted to do either. JS, welcome JS. Also, welcome Raphael. I don't think I said that. JS says BHO, butane hash oil, or hash rosin. Well, I definitely consume more BHO because I do a lot of cartridges, and BHO is still a pretty common extraction method. But I think hash rosin is probably the better process. Less chemicals involved, less chance for shit to go wrong. I mean, rosins is about as simple, and there's, other than the chance of burning your place down that comes with anything that involves lots of heat and pressure, it does not involve dangerous chemicals in any shape of the process. So I'm going to go with, even though I do not do as much hash rosin as I would like, I'm going to go with that. Raphael Green, oh, he's specified his question. What amount is considered safe? Well, with weed, it depends, again, what you mean by safe. There is no safe amount of combustibles to take into your lung. I mean, every time you do that, you risk some kind of mutation. Now, it's very, 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 very infinitesimally small, in addition to other kinds of damage. But again, I'm not trying to scaremonger, because it's less than it would be with something that has a lot of carcinogenic compounds naturally in it, like tobacco with nicotine and shit. But it's not zero. But what is the safe amount? But there is no unsafe. What is dangerous about weed, and it's not, dangerous is the wrong choice of words I keep using, is the act of smoking, the act of taking something combustible into your lungs, which you do less. You're not doing all the time if you're doing weed. Like you're just not smoking as much as you would be smoking tobacco, and the compound that you are taking into your lungs is less, has less volatile molecules in it. Anyways, doesn't matter. But there is no really unsafe quantity of actual THC to take, like in edibles or tinctures. You may green out, you may pass out, but there is only a speculative level of like an LD50 for THC, meaning there's only like a speculative amount of THC that somebody can take that will eventually kill you. Like there is an actual number, but they say it's speculative because it would be so preposterous to try to get to that level. Like you would have to, I mean, you just basically, your body couldn't consume that much, whatever it would be, to get to that point. So I don't think you have anything to worry about in that regard. Long answer, I'm sorry, went too long. Cameron says, anyway, thanks for helping out and keep doing what you're doing. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Lamondre says, you can't OD from weed. Gotta love it. Yes, sir, Lamondre. Nailed it exactly. JS says, good answer. Well, thanks, man. I think that was in relation to your question to BHO or hash rosin. Black Snarro. Welcome, Black Snarro. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Says, hey, man, what's your philosophy on things, man? Well, like, my philosophy, Black Snarro, is like, that stuff is, like, really deep, man, and it's like, whoa, dude, and occasionally it's like, wow, man, this is really out there, yo. It's a Cliff Notes version of my philosophy. I wouldn't say it's all of it, but you certainly get the gist of it from that. Ron, JS says, what's your philosophy on minorities? Yikes. That is a loaded question. What are my thoughts on, what are my philosophy on minorities? I wish that we lived in a world that did not consider minorities in that way. I just didn't see things as like, I'm deeply, deeply, deeply opposed to categorization and factionalization. My minority communities in the United States, and I mean, I was going to say globally, but there's no such, I mean, what does that mean, a global minority? Everything is technically, I mean, I guess the Chinese, I mean, it's a global plurality at that point. But my philosophy on minorities in the United States is that as long as this country has existed, they have received an utterly, utterly, utterly raw fucking deal, and often being told by people that make their life, that are the most responsible for the hardships in their lives, that the hardships are their fault. That there's been a campaign to blame the struggle for minorities on minorities for a long time, and it's totally pernicious. It's just a way of diverting blame, and having to listen to minorities about whatever their almost certainly valid complaints would be, and continuing to ignore them, and continuing to live in your righteous indignation, I guess. Ron Raju says, Jordan, boo minorities. I don't know what that means, but I think I disagree emphatically. Barlos Silver says he may be new 2 weeks, so he can't recommend at least 100 milligrams when it comes to edibles. Yes, Grovel, what's up, Grovel? Thanks for joining, man. Good to see you, Grovel. How have you been, dude? Lamondre says, what age would you recommend LSD or shrooms, if you would at all? Oh, great question, Lamondre. So it depends on the circumstance. Are we talking used in a clinical setting or a recreational setting? Because I think they are different. I think in a clinical setting, I am not qualified to answer that, actually. I don't know. I have not seen anybody trying to do research, I've not really heard of anybody doing psychedelic research on minorities. I can't imagine the ethical quagmire that would be. I assume that it's not going to happen for a long time. So I don't really have a good answer for that, but my suspicion would be that they still do have a lot of clinical application for did I say minorities? I'm so sorry. For people under the age of 18 or whatever the cutoff may be for children. But I just don't know. So I would wait for studies to come out that look at that. But if they are as helpful in clinical applications as they are for adults, I think absolutely you would let them use it. Now, recreationally, I don't know. I mean, my instinct is 18, right? Like 18, that's when we let you do everything other than drinking. Now, I do have this weird hang-up, and if we, as a society, have an artificial restriction on the drinking age of 21 that we just put out there, then, and we're okay with that, I'm not sure that I am, there is enough research to suggest with weed, or with really any mind-altering substance, weed, alcohol, very likely psychedelics, that doing those especially doing those frequently, in large quantities under the age of, say, 25 or so, can actually have some permanent effects on the formation of I think it's usually your frontal lobe. They don't know what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. They just have noticed that people who use mind-altering substances early have actual physical differences in their brains than others that don't. So I would caution maybe there to wait until you're in your early 20s, mid-20s or something, which is what I did. but I know that's not tenable. So 18 would be my suggestion, but my would be my like, okay, at 18, if you're an adult, you should be able to do what you want, go for it. But I would put a heavy warning to maybe not do any mind-altering substance until you're like, again, in your early to mid-20s. But that definitely warrants more study. Eric oh boy, oh my god. Eric, thank you so much again, man. Again, you're so fucking incredibly nice, dude. Huge dab coming up for you. That's really, really, really kind of you, man. Thank you, dude. Let me get caught up here on chat, and then we'll do my boy Eric's dab here. Scott Smith says, I think there's a skunk in your room. Almost certainly. JS says, I'm racist. Uh-oh. I didn't think I said anything racist. Did I say something racist? I really did not intend to. I thought I was not. I was, yikes. I apologize if I offended anybody. Grovel, welcome Grovel, says, I'm great, just enjoying this Tony Hawk remake. Wait, Grovel, you already have it? I didn't think it released until 9 o'clock tonight on the West Coast. I am definitely 100% getting it. I've spent so much time of my youth on Tony Hawk's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a little bit Underground. I cannot wait. I am so excited. The reviews have me so fucking jazzed, dude. I can't wait. Ron Raju. Oh, King Buds, welcome. I was enjoying some cherry pie, and I'm about to do a dab here, by the way. Well, I guess I can't please everybody. I don't think I was being racist. I thought I was... I think I'm being trolled, which is probably correct. But it's dab time. Hey, welcome, FTE Eli. I think I've seen you commenting recently. How's it going, man? So good of you to join us. Hope you are doing well. And he says, the fuck is up with some of these questions? I kind of agree. Very loaded, and yeah, not the easiest questions to just relax to. Okay, and now we've got Wolfology 101 says, I'm a total newbie who's only used some regular vape cartridges. How hard is it to get a set up for smoking shatter and wax? I have no idea what I am doing. Oh, good question, Wolfology 101. Let me just show you right here how easy it is. So I have right here, Wolfology 101, a dab rig. Very, very, very simple setup. It's set up a lot like a bong. Down stem goes in here, and then in your down stem, instead of your bowl or whatever, you would have your banger or nail. I think bangers are probably easier if you're doing just like dabs by yourself, which is what this is. And you can, this was not that much, this was like $80, but you can get a dab rig, especially like a small, manufactured in China glassware blown one for like, $20 at the cheap shelf at your head shop. I think it is probably worth it if you, Wolfology 101, are a fan of wax or oil. It's a significantly upgraded experience to do your own. And you don't have to invest a lot, as I said, to get started. You could probably do it for $20 to $30 out the door. The other thing is you will need a blowtorch, something moderately sized and priced. The bigger, the easier, less time it's going to take to do this. And then when you're heating this thing, this is called, again, a banger. You'll see how we do it in a second. You just kind of take your blowtorch and run it all around the bottom and the sides a little bit. until it gets nice and orange. Then once it's heated up, you actually let it cool down for just a moment to not burn it at the hottest temperature. You can kind of gauge for yourself where that is. Now I've actually already got my dab on there, and this is for my friend Eric there. Thank you again, Eric. Super, super nice and generous of you, man. Really appreciate it. And then all you do, by the way, Wolfology, is you take this, drop it right here. You put your dab tool in your banger, the banger bowl. Inhale while you're putting it in there, rubbing it all. That sounds so weird. Putting it up on the sides, making sure the material gets spread pretty evenly. Inhaling the entire time. Then you put on your little carb cap, a little glass carb cap, and keep inhaling. And then wiggle it around, get some airflow. Pull it out, keep inhaling, just like a bomb. Nice and simple. Now, you probably want to do another, tutorial and especially ask your the guy you're buying the head, wherever you get it, your head shop, how yours operates, because there are a couple of different methods. They're nails instead of bangers, all kinds of different things. So yeah, just ask the guy. But you don't, as I said, don't invest a lot. Put a little bit of money into it, see if it's for you, and then somewhere down the line you can get a nicer rig. That is my suggestion. Robert Lentini. Welcome, Robert. Thanks for joining us. Says, seems like there are a couple of trolls here. I think I agree. I'm new to edibles, and for some reason, the gummies hit me a lot harder than the chocolate bar from the same brand. Now, that is curious, Robert. That doesn't happen often. I'm curious what brand it is that gummies are stronger for you than the chocolates. I almost always find chocolates to be stronger. A couple exceptions. So I'm, just curious what it is you are eating. Grovel, using his genius intellect, says he always sets his region to New Zealand so he can play early. The old region swap trick, you diabolical genius, Grovel. So is it as good as we hope? Is it were you also backing up, were you a Tony Hawk fan back in the, Tony Hawk would have been like, Pro Skater 3 I think was 2001? So this is like late 90s, right? I think, I'm going to guess Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is either 2000 or 99, and Pro Skater 1 is 98 or 99, something like that. I don't remember the exact years, but takes me back to those days. Were you a fan as well? John 3711. Hello, Master Chief. I think, is that Master Chief's name? No, probably not. Sorry. It says, most of the good songs on Tony Hawk are back, except for Public Enemy. Couldn't afford the rights for Public Enemy anymore, I guess. But as long as they've got my pop punk from the era, I'm good. As long as they still got Bob Burnquist. Because anybody who skates with anybody other than Bob Burnquist is a total poser. And you know it. Eric, thank you again, says, if you get a moment, how about a book recommendation? Oh, yes, Eric. Oh, my God. Thank you. I would love to give you a book recommendation. You know what I'm going to do, even? And Eric, thank you for asking the question. Basically, you're going to get yourself a second dab because you gave me an excuse to ask for a book recommendation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at just some of the stuff I've been listening to recently. Reading. I'm just going to take a look at my Goodreads and all that and give something good. Off the top of my head, though, let me think. Good book recommendation. Okay. Eric, how about two? I won't even look him up. I know I've done one of these. I'm going to give you a fiction and a nonfiction because I'm not sure what you are in the mood for. And I know I've done one of these the fiction on as a cherry on top before, but I want to do it again anyways because it is such a great book. It's just truly one of the most cinematic books I've ever read. And one of the greatest, one of the greatest, like, plots in sci-fi. An actual, like, like, the plot of this story, or the setup of the story is just so good. The novel is called Gone World. It is a sci-fi novel from a couple of years ago. I will look up the name of the author, just a second. Tom Sweterlich. It is a sci-fi novel. I'm going to do as brief of a job and a non-spoilery enough job to describe the plot, and just try to impart on you how fucking amazing of a setup this is. And then it's not just an incredible setup. What they do with it is truly, it's something special. So, in the story of The Gone World, it takes place, I think, in something like the mid-aughts, like 2008, something like that. And it follows a woman who works for the Navy as the NCIS, I think. She is part of this team. Okay. Very quickly, I'm going to just do this because it's pretty wild. Okay. She is a detective that is solving crimes, as people in the NCIS do in the Navy. That's what they do. But very specific types of crimes. She is trying to stop people from murdering people that are all from a specific group of people, and murdering them at different points in time. Because she lives in a world, and oh boy, it's so hard to describe, and I'm so high. Stop, back up, The Gone World. In this universe, faster than light travel and time travel both exist. They are things that exist. Most people don't know that they exist. Most people don't know that the Navy in this world has found that these things exist. They've been shut out. So they found a way to go travel into the future. And what happened is, when they were exploring in the future, they noticed, starting about 500 years into the future, when the Navy would just go exploring in the future, that every timeline would eventually end in the world being destroyed by little nanomachines that would crucify people inverted on big invisible crucifixes, and basically turn them inside out. So these little nanomachines would do that to people. And every time they would go into the future, and each time they would go in the future, it's different. Like, the world splits off in a different way. But no matter what happens, every future, they saw this end for themselves. There were other ends that may have ended earlier, they may have come across, but without a doubt, within 500 years, this is going to happen. So the Navy is now on this mission to try to prevent this certain future from happening, but there's a paradoxical problem where every time they go into the future to try to learn more, it actually pushes that date of the impending humanity's doomed by these things closer and closer. And things are further bad because anybody who goes into the future and sees this crazy world often comes back and goes insane in the real world, in the modern day, and starts doing terrible things, awful things, because they've gone totally insane, as you would imagine, seeing this horrible future. And so now they need people to stop these people who have gone into the future from revealing all this stuff. And that's where this book begins. It was a very poor job of setting it up, but it is an unbelievable story. I mean, it's got all your time travel shenaniganery and non-Euclidean distortionary, and also your like a cosmic. Well, that goes with like the, I said non-Euclidean distortions. I just mean that there are so many descriptions of geometry not working right in this. What's the term? Horror. We're supposed to use apocalyptic horror. No. The cosmic horror. It's such a great cosmic horror. The Gone World. I'm very high. I described it so poorly, but that's my first suggestion for you, Eric. Nonfiction. I'm gonna go a lot more quick, and just give you. I didn't even have anything off the top of my head ready to go. But let me think of a good nonfiction book. Oh, I know. And I know I've done this as well, this guy and his books, but it's been a while. My recommendation for you, Eric, nonfiction, totally, anything by Nicholas Nassim Taleb, the Black Swan, anti-fragile guy. He's the statistician turned Wall Street speculator turned Wall Street skeptic. They're all great. They're just great books about thinking and how to think skeptically about claims of success and claims of luck and all those kinds of things. Any of his books, Nicholas Nassim Taleb, Black Swan. I guess start with what's his first one? I can't remember. Nicholas Nassim Taleb. Thank you for the question. Dathy Goylan, welcome, says, Wheats, how's things today? Decent beard, keep her lit. Well, thanks, man. Things are going well. I hope things are going well with you. I am so sorry about my terrible explanations of those plots and that long answer. Glad you're here to talk and hang out, though. Rhode Island Hiker says, little late, but I'm here. And he's hitting on some Gorilla Glue. Well, thanks, man. And thanks for joining us again, Rhode Island Hiker. Hope all is well with you. Sean S. says, your beard is epic. Mad respect, my dude. Well, thanks, man. Another comment about the beard. Appreciate it. Maybe I, conditioned it better today or something. Wolfology101 says, appreciate the answer. You are welcome. Grovel, in response to Tony Hawk, says, it's an awesome remake. I've been playing Tony Hawk since day one, and I love this new game. Hell yes, Grovel. Now all we have to do is wait for that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 remaster. Because people don't respect Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 enough. Boy, do you remember that existed? That they tried that? What a nightmare. What a disaster that was. Almost as bad as Tony Hawk's Ride. I can't wait, though. I will be playing it at 9 p.m. tonight, or whenever I'm not asleep. Yes, fuck yes, I'm so excited. When I first saw the people's thoughts about the demo that came out last month, I was like, okay, I can breathe easily. This really seems like they've finally done it, that they've done a competent Tony Hawk reboot, remaster, whatever. Very exciting. Rhode Island Hiker concurs with the THPS love and says the game was insanely awesome on the PlayStation. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Oh, I remember it so fondly. I played it on the N64, played it on the PlayStation. Believe it or not, it is not anything like it. It very wisely decided not to try to recreate the console version, but the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on Game Boy Advance is really damn good. Is really damn good. I mean, sure, it's probably not so good now, but at the time, I remember being very impressed with it. It was early in the GBA's life, so that probably also helped, but it was a damn good game. If you're looking for something else to get your Tony Hawk nostalgia on with. Raphael Green says, is this legal in the USA? Eric says, depends on the state, Raphael. It is in California, where he is, and Illinois, where I am. Very correct. Eric knocked it out of the park, answered that perfectly correctly. Thank you. Barlos says, under the right consumption, no, and yes, you can. Barlos also concurring. Thank you as well. Wolfology. What is weird to me is I live in Massachusetts, where the selection of vape cartridges is way, way worse than that of shatter and other concentrates. Well, actually, it does make a little bit of sense to me, Wolfology, because it just requires less. I mean, in order to make the cartridges, you have to have all of the equipment that you have to make the oil to begin with, and then the ability to put it in, vape cartridges and sell it that way. So it makes sense that there are more people making just the oil than both the oil and the cartridges themselves. But I do hope that the inequity gets resolved. My guess is it'll be like the other states where people will see that as a big profit center. People love cartridges and pods because they're so convenient, and they're so easy to sneak in places. So they sell a fuck ton of cartridges and pods. So my guess is market forces will probably push that at some point. You'll start to see more just because people want to make more money. But I don't know for sure. Robert says, Cultivate is the brand from Massachusetts. It was probably just a fluke, and I'll keep trying different chocolate bars. I'd give it I would give it another go, by the way. Their chocolate, or different chocolate. It could be that you just metabolize things different, Robert. It's certainly possible, and it may just be that one brand. But I'd say give chocolates another shot, baked goods in general, and see if maybe you don't have a better experience. Eric says, so it's called The Gauntlet? What is it called? The book is the book that I'm recommending. The Gone World is the name of the book. The Gone World. I'm sorry, I was probably pronouncing it terribly. I think I've read that since it has come out, Neil Blomkamp of District 9 fame and Chappie infamy, I think, has purchased the rights to it. It is a book that you will read and think to yourself, oh my God, I cannot wait to see somebody try to put this to film. And you hope that the Neil Blomkamp of District 9 is still out there, because he might be the one to do it. You're going to have somebody who is willing to do some experimental shit, some trippy visual stuff to get this just right. There's some imagery that the book puts out there that is so shockingly horrifying that, but also so what's geometrically confusing. Like there are many descriptions of worlds or places that can't physically exist. So I'd be so curious to see somebody trying to interpret that on screen. And speaking of somebody trying to interpret things that can't be filmed on the screen, looks like the Game of Thrones boys are doing the 3-body problem at HBO Max, Peacock, Hulu, Netflix, one of them. Somebody's optioned them. Good luck. It's hard to believe that those guys that good luck, I say. I wish them the best. I think they've got their work cut out for them. Rhode Island Hiker says, I go to Massachusetts all the time and I hit up Nova Farms. Oh, and Eric Nephron says he loves Talib. Thanks for the Rex. Ah, well, I knew you were a man of good taste. I cannot... It's driving me crazy that I can't remember the name of his first big book. I hold all of his... he's just one of my favorite thinkers, period. I just love what an asshole he is. How much he does not give a shit about conventional thinking or giving people credit for things that they don't deserve credit for. It's really radical. It's great. Robert, thanking our boy Rhode Island Hiker for the recommendation, which, gotta love this community. Everybody here is so friendly, man. And it's cool that we're building across the nation now and that we can get some recommendations from folks not just in California anymore. Oh, we've got Welcome to the Cum Zone. Bro, it's been so long. Oh, man, it has... it has been a very long time since I have been to that, to the Cum Zone with you. We need to get back there, with your welcoming attitude. It should be no problem getting a spot back into the Cum Zone. And while we're there, we can go visit, the adjacent zone, the Danger Zone. Which for a lot of people, or not a lot of people, for some people, both of those zones overlap. Oh, Eric Nephron, thank you so much, man. That's, again, so kind. I do not want to look a gift horse in any way, shape, or form in the mouth, Eric Nephron, because it's just so generous and it means a lot. But you don't have to. I don't need. It is not something like. I'm in no way, shape, or form need this. If you're feeling generous, you can totally donate to somebody else. I just really, really appreciate it. It's just really appreciate the generosity. Dab time. Okay. Oh, I missed Grovel, by the way. Sorry, Grovel. Sorry I missed you, man. Goodbye. I hope to catch you later. Eric, I need to also get him modded here. No Sanchez says, when is the video dropping? Oh, the new review will be out tomorrow. Oh, speaking of, thank you for the question. It is now set in stone, at least for 5 weeks. It will be Wednesday, Fridays are the reviews. Wednesdays and Fridays. At 11 a.m. I should put that back. I used to have an banner image that's like new video, back when I had my shit together again. But I have, earlier today, edited the last video. Haven't uploaded it, but there is a official Wednesday, Friday, twice a week release schedule now. And it should be 1 cartridge, 1 non-cartridge every week. 1 each. Eric, this is for you. Thank you again. Okay. Thank you again. Bonus recommendation. Oh, let's catch up with the chat and then I'll do the bonus rec. Sean S. says, what is your favorite brand to dab on? I live in the San Fernando Valley, so I'm sure we have similar options. I like URSA Cannabiotics, which we do have here, and Humboldt Farms, which we do have here as well. For me, to be 100% honest, Sean, I don't actually have a favorite dab brand. I mostly go with when I go to the dispensary, they usually have one brand on promo or special, and I usually go with whatever is on promo or special that week, and then choose the strain based on whatever from there. So I'm not particularly loyal, but I can tell you, Raw Gardens, I mean, as it gets brought up here a lot, does have excellent concentrates, top to bottom. I don't know if they're as far out as the Valley, but my guess is maybe. They seem to have a decent distribution. Check them out if you haven't, if they are around you. Richard says, what was the title of the book you were explaining? Sorry, I was faded. That is called The Gone World, that is a fiction book. Nonfiction is, recommendations was anything by Nicholas Nassim Taleb, Talib. He is a thinker about finance, mathematics, statistics, luck, success. He has several books about those topics. All excellent, all worth reading. Eric did get the book for The Gone World. I am so excited for you. If you are a sci-fi fan, or even if you're not, if you're just a fan of an excellent narrative, I'm excited for you. You're going to enjoy this. No, again, sorry about the video confusion. Out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Jose Perez says, should I get a Steezy or plug and play? Jose Perez, weighting two options first. If these two considerations don't matter too much to you, go 100% plug play. But consider the price disparity. If it's vast, you might want to consider. If it's plus or minus 20-30%, I'd still say go plug play. And if it is free, if plug play is freely available around you, go with plug play as well. It's just plug play always gets brought up. My favorite vaping experience, concentrate experience, period. It's great. It's amazing. Steezy has the benefits of being usually quite cheap, and it's everywhere. And it's good. It's not to denigrate their quality. It's just not as good as plug play. Corey Tektos says, hey, have you tried shungite infused crystal weed? No, I have not, Corey. That sounds quite crazy. Crystal weed. Shungite infused crystal weed. I'm not even 100% sure what it is, but sounds kind of cool. Yosefsa. I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. Please let me know how to say it correctly. I'd be happy to. And again, apologies for butchering it. Says, shungite tastes good. Well, there's another fan. Sean S. says, smart dude, I've had Raw Garden a lot. Ah, okay. A man of taste. I knew it. Rah says, you do reviews? Believe it or not, done a couple. Maybe 2 or 3 in my day. Michel, is that French? Dumoulin says, you better invest in shungite if you don't want to get corona. That's caused by 5G. Oh, wow. We're, lots of people here talking about shungite. Shungite is worth a review. It's a new e-vape liquid. So good. So Corey, Josefa, and Rah, are you guys all friends with each other? Or am I just paranoid from the weed? Super Rats Extreme 47 says, well, first of all, what a name, Super Rats Extreme 47. Not just 46, 45, or 42, 47. And it's with a name like Super Rats Extreme, it was not like there were 46 people lining up for that handle. What an excellent name. Welcome says, hey brother, love the vids. Keep yo she up. I will try to keep my she up. Thank you, man, and welcome. Richard Sasaki. I'm sorry, I've been saying that incorrectly. Hey, have you visited the Steezy store in downtown LA? And have you tried the terpenes pods? No and no. I do want to get out to the dispensary at some point. It's been open for a while now. I've seen it several times driving by. I live in Long Beach. It's definitely downtown LA. I've been meaning to do different things with dispensaries, different new kinds of videos. So maybe that'll be my excuse. And I have seen their new pods, and I am planning on doing a review of their new pod line soon. But I have another Steezy review thing coming out. They're disposable, so it'll be a bit just to spread out the Steezy love. Lamp7 says, are these guys talking about Suge Knight? Oh, like in jail now, Suge Knight, Murderer Supreme? Maybe that is the name of that e-vape liquid they're talking about, is designed, you say like Suge Knight? Or Shungite. I don't know, man. Oh boy. Jason Andrews says, caused by 5G. Oh, buddy. Jason, I think he was kidding. I'm not 100% sure. I know people, I know there are actually a bazillion 5G conspiracy lunatists in the world, but I still have a hard time believing that I don't know how one's brain gets that. I don't know. But I assume he was kidding and isn't actually a 5G conspiracist, but you never know. Eric says, Wicked Shungite, it's some carbon material that I imagine can be used for organic filtration. I don't know about its use in weed. Well, thank you for the Googling. I have no idea what that... oh, they're back. Let's see. Maybe they'll explain further. Michael says, I must be getting paranoid. True. Corey says, I think you're paranoid, bro. They started copying like some hipsters. But it is actually good, though. Okay, curious. Rod says, no, I saw them talking about it, and I got interested. But there is people that know about Shungite e-liquid. Well, I apologize for butchering it with my clumsy American tongue. Is it French, by the way? Is that the origin? I mean, it could be a French name, and you don't have to be from France either. Just curious. Jose says, you remind me of Jace from Duck Dynasty. I think somebody commented on that the other day. Maybe that was you. I haven't replied yet. But I do know what Duck Dynasty is. I used to live in East Tennessee, so it was hard to avoid it. My local CVS carried, like, a whole aisle of my local CVS was Duck Dynasty merchandise back in, like, 2013 East Tennessee. Do the Ducks still have a dynasty? Are they still... or has the dynasty fallen? I could not tell you the last time I've heard about the fates of the Duck Dynasty people. I don't know much about the world of Duck Dynasty since I left East Tennessee, which I only knew then through cultural osmosis. But I appreciate that because it means that I look successful, and like people should listen to me. Gonzo, welcome, Gonzo. Glad of you to join us again, man. How are you doing today? It's cool, dude. Michael. I'm sorry, I'm continuing to butcher it. Please josh with me all the time. And the higher I am, the easier it is to fuck with me. I encourage it. Richard says, what dispensary would you recommend in Long Beach to check out? Ooh, Richard, even though it is a big company, it is a big dispensary brand, which there's some part of me that I don't find that I don't already like the fact that there are big chains in California. That being said, Catalyst, which was until about a month ago called Connected, just changed their name because big business buying and selling these things pretty often, is my favorite. I really, I wish I could say something different about somebody else, but they have the best prices, they have great selection, they usually have pretty good promos, and my favorite thing, period, and this video that I promise I'll get out at some point, this essay that I've been working on for a while, they include their taxes in the price that you see online, in store. You know exactly what you're going to pay when you go into the dispensary or when you're window browsing or ordering online. It's what you see is what you get, which is only one other dispensary in Long Beach, I think, does that. And even more pernicious, there are some dispensaries in Long Beach that say that they include the tax in the price, but only include like one of the 3 taxes in that price and not the others. It's just a messed up system designed to just put a level of opacity, an unnecessary level of opacity on the system to confuse consumers. It sucks. So, Richard, my answer is Catalyst/Connected. They're great. They have great prices, especially if you're coming into Long Beach to check it out. Stock up. It really is going to have much better prices than average. Hey, Stephanie, welcome. So glad that you could join us. It's awesome, man. Sean S. says, the shop I go to has 20% off every day for a few hours, so I only shop during that time. It helps the wallet quite a bit. Sean S., yes, you know a true stoner shopper who knows how to ride promos and different happy hours and all those things to maximize your weed purchasability. Every dispensary does this as well. Well, thank you, Catron, wherever you are joining us from. I'm sorry I haven't been watching it. Oh, I totally missed everybody in chat. I am sorry, in Twitch chat. I haven't yet figured out how to get unified chat going again. Oh, the chat box would help. Look at this. Put that back up there. Maybe. Well, maybe not. I appreciate the follow, Catron, and says, look at all this equipment. Yes, I know. Wishes it was illegal in New Jersey. Hopefully soon. I assume New Jersey's going to get on it soon, Catron. It's got to. It's just, it's in close proximity to other states. It's going to see all that tax revenue. And it's just going to have people going into other states to buy it anyways. They're going to change. They're going to get on it. I'm confident. And then Catron says, what's your favorite type of cat? Living, loving all cats. Cats are great. My favorite type of cat is a cat. My favorite type of cat, Catron, is cats that like people. If it's a cat that it finds people's company great, love it. Love all those cats. I don't have a cat. I had cats, not necessarily when I was growing up, but I had dogs. I've had dogs my entire life, except for like the 4 years of college or so, and maybe 1 year after. Maybe 5 years of my life I haven't had a dog. But I always wanted cats, loved cats, loved cats. Finally, convinced my parents to let me get one in middle school. Caesar, what an amazing cat. He lived to be 18, died of some awful um, nose cancer, believe it or not, olfactory cancer. But at the age of 18, he was an amazing cat. Also had another cat named Tank, big old orange cat. Got him in middle school as well. He was a nice. Oh, he lived to also a very old age. Cats are great. Cats are amazing. I just haven't had one as an adult on my own, but I do love them. But I would get it. I will. I probably will. I'm going to have another cat at some point in my life. They're great animals. I'm not a cat person or a dog person. Inherent, one or the other. Michael or Michael, I missed your question. Says, my actual question, do you think it would be a good idea to legalize weed everywhere? It could create new jobs and the taxes on that would be insane. So the government would make money. Yes, I do. Very simply, I do think in the United States, weed should be not decriminalized, not medically legal. I think it should just be straight legalized. I do think that there is some room for states to decide exactly how they want their markets to be set up and regulated. I think there's a little bit of, I'm not a states' rights man traditionally, but I think the laboratory of democracy and all that. There should be some room for experimentation there, but absolutely, weed should be legal and should be taxed very high. It should be taxed just like any other, except, let me back up. I do actually think that there's still a reason to have a medical market, even in legal areas, for tax purposes. I think there should be no taxes on medical marijuana. If it is prescribed by a medical doctor for health reasons, there shouldn't be taxed. But other than that, tax it to hell and back like any other sin tax. Not that weed is any more of a sin than anything else, but I'm not an anti-tax man at all. Use it to raise money. Use that money for all kinds of good things. All kinds of wonderful programs to help all kinds of folks. Encourage it completely. Just don't tax it. Don't price yourself out of your own market states and basically encourage black markets to still exist because you have taxed it outside of people's reach. Be reasonable. Don't overtax it and make a thriving black market still exist, but be sensible. Tax it, get your money, and use that money to help people. You decide how that is. I don't know. I'm not your state. Okay. Sean, answer that. Eric says, people like you, dude. Oh, well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I don't know that to be true, but, people are here hanging out. I appreciate it nonetheless. Super Rats Extreme says, bruh, can't wait till it is legal in Texas. Can't even gas up the bedroom. Super Rats Extreme, this Puffco is for you. I loaded up ahead of time like a smart kid finally. It's got a nice big fat dab in there ready to go. So, Super Rats, this is for you, my friend. And all of your fellow Texans, however untold tens of millions there are of you, that can't legally light up. This Puffco's for you. And I did it again where I mistimed it. I should have been heating it already. Preheating it now. It'll be ready in like 10 seconds. I am Harambe 31 says poop. Everybody loves it. Everybody does it. Poop, poop, poop. Welcome to chat. Jason Andrew says, I'm 15 minutes from a legal state and the closest dispensary gets 75% of their business from my state. Well, of course, Andrew. Of course, it's always going to work out that way. Any state that is not, you're stupid if you're a state and not, you're just stupid. You're a stupid state. No, I take it back. Anyways, guys, this is going to be my last dab here. um, Catron asks, when did you laugh the hardest while you were high? I don't remember. I'm not a particularly early in my getting high career. I wish I had a more satisfying answer. Ooh, but I gotta take a break. Harambe says poop, 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 poop. And I love the content. Well, thanks, man. I also love poop. Jamil says, what's special about the Puffco Peak? It's expensive? It is a very nice, easy to use system, Jamil, that costs a lot of money and is tough to clean. I love it a lot, but I also don't recommend it to everybody sight unseen. Dogma says, easy there, bro. Why do you smoke water? I don't know why I smoke water. Oh my god. Chat. I will just call you Mitch. Thanks, Mitch. I live in Belgium, so we can have weed on us, but only 3 grams and for self-use only. The problem is getting it in Belgium, since there is only 1 or 2 stores, and it is illegal to deal. That sucks, man. Yes, that weird problem that some states here have where it's totally legal, but it is illegal to sell, which is like, how does that work? The backwards nature of state bureaucracies. Jamil says, looks like you got a lot of backsplash. Yeah, I need to reduce the amount of water, I think, in there, or not draw as hard. Okay, real quick, revision to my statement about if you're a state that doesn't have legal weed. Let's just be honest, you're not just stupid. There's also just some straight evilness there in your government. If you are still both depriving your citizens of easy, vast amounts of tax revenue that could be used to put towards great social programs like education, is what I think weed often gets used for. Let's just use that one. That you're just saying, nope, we're not going to do it, and you're also going to continue to criminalize acts that many people, I would assume the majority of the population now lives in states where it's at least decriminalized in the United States, and saying, nope, we're still going to put you in jail for this. There is no reason to do that other than sheer glee at locking people up, at criminalizing things, at the financialization of crime. It is stupid, but that does not preclude it from also being evil. Yeah, if you're a governor or a state legislator in a state that still does that, go to hell. You're a huge piece of shit. You are subhuman. You're dog shit. Fuck off. Nobody likes you, and you are a truly bad, evil person who should never get a good night's sleep. You know, I just cannot wish enough bad things upon you. But that's for me. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. And with that, guys, that is going to do it for this wonderful live stream here. Eric, thank you so much, man, again, for your contributions. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody who just tuned in. I am going to go rest my voice, take a break, relax, and work off this high. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. I'm almost certain I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow